What's up, everyone? This is third tutorial on the DeadPool Zentai. Today I'm going to show you a few things. Part 1, alright, let me take this off. Part 1 was the introduction, Part 2 was the freehand puff paint. Today we're going to do freehand puff paint again, but since I showed you on a duct tape dummy, this is for all of you who don't have a duct tape dummy or a mannequin to do your puff painting on. So I'm not actually going to do the puff painting. I'm going to show you another method which you can do it. What we're going to do is, if you have the suit off and you got nothing to put it on, substitute empty bottle, soda bottle, whatever you want. Now this is going to be a sleeve, and this is what you'll have to work with. You'll take the shape, and what would you do is work on your space. Now you can see it's got sides to it, so it's flat and it's very well to work on. If it's too small, you can work in sections and squeeze the fabric taut against the flat surface of the bottle, and you can get your lines down on that. So that's another way you can do it. This is going to be a short tutorial, by the way. It's late and I'm just doing what I can with the time I have, which isn't much. For the chests, for any time you have to do something around chests or torso area on a suit like this, it would be best to use those cardboard boxes that aren't, into boxes yet, the flat ones. And you would just put it in and zipper it up, and you'd actually have a flat surface to work on. For larger areas like the legs and thighs, you kind of gotta supplement. So you can use something like this and slip it in to the thigh area, and that's how you would work on that. You see, it takes the shape. It's a little harder to work on something round, but it's way easier than just doing it flat on the table without anything on the fabric. It's good because it stretches the fabric enough that it's taut, and you can put down nice lines that won't be too thick and gooey. So those are the two. This is another method on which you can lay down your puff paint. Now for today's tutorial, I'd like to introduce you to some of the things that I randomly found just walking around Walmart and stuff. It was kind of cool. I picked up buckles, and these buckles are awesome. I think they were like $1 for one, so it was 98 cents for one. Picked up a few. They also have ones that have straps. Now these are replacement parts. For, you'll find them in the outdoor section, sporting goods outdoor section, mainly by the hiking stuff and the hunting stuff. I found another buckle set that actually has straps, and this could be used for a bunch of things. It'll just be handy, even if I don't have to use it on this suit. You can always find find other stuff to do with it. What's kind of cool about this one is it actually has an X buckle, so it kind of works with DeadPool. Just in case I want to do an Uncanny X-Force, and this buckle come in handy, because I can always just paint the buckle red and that'll pop. Kind of cool. Alright, so these are just some random things that I picked up thinking about the suit. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to use it on my Deadpool, but you know, I got like shin guards, you know, soccer shin guards. This is easily paintable or sanded and, you know, painted flat. I could either use this as forearm guards, or I'll just reshape it and make it smaller, or I can use them as shin guards. That's still to be determined. Okay, so the actual tutorial that we're going to do today is removing the black eye patches on the mask, since I'm going to be modifying that. I don't have my face shell or mask to do the work with yet, still shopping around for that. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you how to take these patches off. What you're going to need is X-Acto blade or a knife or thread cutter, whichever you have available to you. You can see that this is just fabric on top of fabric, so you can pick up the black piece and find the seam, split it apart and stretch it until you can see the thread. You can see here the thread is black. Now what you want to do is stick the blade between the thread. I'm going to do that. Now the blade is either going to face away from the fabric or face the black, because I don't want to cut the fabric, the red fabric. So nice and taut. You see, the blade is specifically only through facing you, the camera, and it's in between just the thread. I know it's hard to see, but as you can see now, I just have the thread. I'm going to just cut that. Once you have the first thread cut, it's kind of easy from then on. You don't have to pull hard. Just pull slightly, and some of the few stitches will loosen up, and you'll have more loose thread to work with. This you can take your time. Alright, so see, it just will slowly come apart on its own. Alright, just pull again until it doesn't pull anymore. So you kind of get the idea. Now you'll just do that a few stitches at a time. I don't want to rush this. I could, but I don't. And you wouldn't want to either. Now, in order to make this video actually really short, I'm going to pause this and get back to you. Alright everybody, here we have the patch unstitched. Now you can see they stitch it down pretty well. Alright, so it ain't no joke. What you'll notice is even after you unseam this part of the patch, this part, the rim of the eyelids are sewn as well. So what you're going to have to do with this one is a little trickier, because if you look at the way eye patches, it's sewn really well. It's sewn into 3 layers. Now, what we're going to have to do to take that off is flip it inside out. I already started it, just for you guys to see. Now, it's sewn 1, 2, 3. So it's sewn into multiple layers. If you look about it, it's folded over. One fabric is folded over once, and the black one's actually folded over twice, and the mesh is sewn on top of that. So it's actually a 1, 2, 3, 4. You see that? So it's stitched pretty well. Now I was looking for places to de-stitch it, so the best thing you can do is start off. This is if you're going to keep the mesh part, which I am. I'm gonna keep this mesh material, and I might not use it, I might use it. I don't know yet, so I'm not gonna damage it, and see what I can do with it. So what I did was unstitch the very top of it first. And you see that you get you just pick up a thread you just pick one up from here, and then you cut, and that's basically what you do. Now once you have this thread cut, it's only going to remove your mesh. Alright, so that doesn't necessarily mean you removed the black patch. What you have to do with this one is, if you look really closely, lift up this out of the way. It's better if you just do it all the way through and remove the white mesh. But in between you'll have the black. Alright, now the black is folded over, and you're just gonna have to go into, for demonstration, you're gonna have to find a thread here and cut it away slowly until you lift up the first layer or second layer enough to see the thread from the other side on the red. Alright, now I don't want to mess up any part of the red, so I'll go from in between the red and black, stretching that out. Now let me see if I can get I'm sorry, I'm just putting this on a clip to see if I can hold that still and use two hands. Alright, now what we're gonna do is, you see the black, and you're gonna see these threads, right? So I'm not cutting it from here, okay? I'm not gonna go through here, this crease and fold over to get the thread through. So what I'm doing is finding the stitch on the black fabric, releasing the stitches from the black, and then once that's loose enough, slowly get it to the point where I've loosened enough threads to see where the thread separating the red fabric from the black fabric is. Alright, so there we go, that's the split, and I see inside there. So what I'm gonna do is go along this seam. You see what I'm saying? I'm not sure if you see it, but you see that? I picked up the black thread and cut. It's a little harder than the actual outside black patching because that's just a single layer of thread. This is actually a multi-layered thread. And I'm going to just slowly work this out, okay? So that's how it's going to be to remove the whole patch. If you can actually see, it's a pretty good seam from the outside for the black pattern, but looks like I did the wrong eye hole. I was supposed to do this one. Either way, you get the idea. So I'll leave you guys to that, and I'll continue with this vid in just a second. What's up, guys? I'm back, and just to say, this was a pain in the ass. The eyelid area was extraordinarily tedious, and this is what you're left with. Now, you can see it was folded over. It was really well stitched. I have to admit, it was only a pain in the ass because it was so well stitched onto it. You know, it had somewhat, like, the only way I can describe it was a knot stitch, so you'd have to go through one thread then flip it to get to the other side to cut that thread. So yes, kudos to you, Zentai. That's what it's gonna be without the without that. So works a little better. I can't wait to get my mask to put on my own patches. It'll somewhat be closer to something that looks like this. Something like that. But I'm not going to have these mesh rounded or triangle-like. So, yeah, Deadpool. That's today's tutorial. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will check you out next time. Stay tuned.